Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. Mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, live the life we love. It's Thursday, so that means it's story day, and I always like to tell the story of how Ganesha got his head. Shiva, Lord of Yoga, Lord of Destruction, meditating yogi, always off on Mount Kailash, meditating, doesn't want to be disturbed. His wife Parvati was taking a bath, and while Shiva was away meditating for eons, whatever, didn't know that Parvati gave birth to a son. And so Parvati went in to take her bath and told her son, now you stay out here and you guard the door and you don't let anybody in. And so that's what he did. Parvati was taking her bath. Shiva came back from his mountain, went to visit Parvati, and there was this guy standing in front of the tent. And Shiva said, what are you doing here? He says, well, I'm guarding the tent. No one can go in. Parvati's taking a bath. He said, what do you mean no one can go in? I'm her husband. I'm Shiva. So he chopped off his head and went inside. Parvati said, what are you doing inside? He says, well, some kind of rude young man was outside like that. Said, I chopped off his head. Didn't want to let me in. Said, what? You did what? He was your son. How could you do that? Well, she was really freaked at this point. He says, okay, listen. He sent one of his minions. He says, the first animal that you see, chop off its head and bring it to me. And so his servant went and found an elephant, chopped off its head, brought it back. Shiva plunked it on top of his son, and that's how Ganesh got his head. Of course, Parvati didn't like the fact it had an animal head, zoomorphic, right? Animal form of the deity. Shiva says, no, don't worry. I'll bless him. I'll bless him with the ability to lead the way. You know, like elephants, they go first in the forest and they hack a trail and everybody follows them. So Ganesha became a symbol of remover of obstacles. At any time you start a new venture, you pray to Ganesha, which is why you see the elephant god so many places, especially in businesses, because he blesses your endeavor and it's always going to be successful. So worship Ganesha a little bit. Um, I want to talk today a little bit about the importance of people recognizing the inner elder, which is an archetypal motif. It has nothing to do with you chronologically. Everybody has the wisdom of ages in their DNA. And also, at a literal level, as one ages, as my rabbi calls it, aging into saging, are you willing to make your life a statement of wisdom? And can you pass it on? Can you keep the chain of transmission going and honor younger people in their magnificence and power them up to take over? So, first, you have to recognize that we all go through different changes. It's a rugged process. Nobody gets through life without getting scarred. And if a tree survives a blight, don't say that the fruit is a consequence of the blight. We all have these beautiful things inside ourselves, separate from any kind of traumatic experience that we go through. So once you accept that aging is natural, inevitable, irreversible, and entropic, it takes us down. A negative attitude towards aging is entirely based on fear. So first thing is learn to age as gracefully as possible. Educate yourself about the factors that lead you towards wholeness as you age, and incline your mind towards well-being in everything that you're doing. First thing I would suggest is don't carry other people's pain. Give yourself permission to grieve your own pain so it doesn't lead you to depression, but instead to spiritual awakening and growth. Time is running out, and everybody has to learn how to reduce all the possibilities to probabilities. It's true, anyone can do anything, but you can't do everything. So you have to pick. And part of what I suggest you pick is learn how to mentor people, learn how to be involved in the community, learn how to be an incarnation of wisdom. Initiation is not just for puberty rites, the rites of passage from childhood and youth to adulthood and maturity. All the people we think of as sages, rishis, saints, hierophants, gurus, curanderos, they're elders who are sought out to dispense their knowledge and wisdom. And some of the wisdom comes in the form of stories, not just plant medicine. So we have to ask ourselves, especially in capitalist society, where everything is driven by economics, Are we supposed to renounce like the yogis do, or go into retirement and play no part as we continue to age? Our job as we age is to be as available as possible to the younger generation and hold the line while they make their glorious mistakes. We are the peace chiefs, not the war chiefs. So we have to talk sanity, calmness. And the best way I suggest you do it is shovel through your own ashes. You don't have to be cheerful all the time. You don't have to have a smile, have a nice day face. Having gone through it, not gone around it, we bear witness to our own mistakes publicly and willingly will play the fool. I'm always a fool for the song, for all to see and all to learn from. So just as we value aging wine, aging cheese, aging violins, aging antiques, and whereas the greenness of youth sometimes lacks both depth and complexity, we're going to avoid the pitfalls and recklessness of youth and the common failings of middle age so that we can fly in the spirit and be an example, not only just for ourselves, but for everyone. So keep practicing yoga, because the practice of yoga, there's nothing that substitutes for the practice of yoga. So just practice yoga and see how it leads you to being a wise elder.